Mama said, you're a pretty girl. What's in your head? It doesn't matter. Brush your hair, fix your teeth. What you wear is all that matters.
I started drag in 2002, and I started out as Erica Summers. And in 2007, I made the transition to Aurora Summers, and that became my stage name.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have one hell of a show in store for you. Are you ready? Are you sure you're ready? Yes! We're going to keep this show moving right on along. At this time, if you would please, put your hands together and give it up. Where is she? It's not you, it's the other one. It's the other one. Go get that bitch.
I set out to want to learn everything imaginable about drag. I wanted to learn how to do my own makeup. I didn't want any more help. I wanted to learn how to do hair and make costumes. So I had amazing teachers who taught me how to sew, who set me up with costumes, who taught me about makeup, and I took it all in. And then in 2008, I did my first pageant as Aurora, because before then I was performing as Eric. Now there's a sense of camaraderie where the girls help each other out. So we have seamstresses, we have people who do hair, we have people who do makeup. So if anything's going on, we just kind of call each other up and say, hey girl, can you do this? Or hey girl, can you do that? Hey, can you help me with this? So it works out.
That reminds me, hey girl, I got some highlighting powder. I need some for next Friday.
Yes, I have white girl highlighting powder.
You got any clown white?
Yes, I do.
I need your help, girl.
Okay. We had to change from the front door entrance to the back door entrance because people would stand out and protest in front of this bar. Like just people coming in, or people would get hurt trying to walk into the entrance. And sometimes like even people would publicize pictures of people coming into the bar. It's like, you know, it's not as, it wasn't as accepted as it is now, and it's changed a lot. I have a lot of personal like hardships just seeing friends go through stuff. Like I said, one of my friends, like her head was shaven. She was devastated. She didn't want to go anywhere for the better part of a year because of that. And not just that, but she was beat to a pulp. She had to have plastic surgery to fix her bone structure, and another one of my friends' jaw broken. Like, I mean, it's sad to see things like that. I've had friends chased. I've had people shot at. I've seen people break beer bottles and chase people, and nothing was pretty much done about it because there was no laws to protect the gay community in general.
Yeah. It's a good little kind of guy. Kelly, you find anybody to do your dreads?
No.
No.
You still upset.
I can do your dreads.
Oh, you can do it?
I got some dial soap for you.
Kelly, don't get on me.
What? What's up?
He was touching me. All up on me.
Oh, well, I want your goodies, baby. Raw. What's tea?
Everything.
Oh, Lord.
My husband and I, we have 2 foster kids, and we also adopted a child. And so we're raising a family, and here I am spending literally close to $2,000 a month on just drag.
I don't think I just saw my song off there. It was in my hand. Well, Derek has it now. I need another one.
Oh.
What?
Gracias.
This should work. Alright, you need anything? Anybody
I need to
anything?
do the flash
Yeah.
drive.
Alright.
Okay, that'll work. Okay. I'll make him work with it.
Oh,
So you really thought you lost him?
I own my own restaurant consulting firm, and I travel throughout Florida consulting with different restaurants. And I know personally I lost a contract with Chick-fil-A because of me being transgender. And with me losing that, I picked up a lot more contracts with the IHOP Corporation. So they personally work with me, and I get to consult with IHOPs all over the country now. McCopco, which is McDonald's, I work with them, and I helped solidify a training program for their managers, which was amazing. But so when one door closes, another door opens, and that's just because I wasn't afraid to be who I am, and people saw that and they appreciated what I was doing personally. I have one biological son. He's amazing. I have custody of one 7-year-old. I'm trying to get the ages right. One 7-year-old, two 9-year-olds, and a 12-year-old. And with my partner, and we just recently adopted one of the 9-year-olds. Well, not recently anymore. It was on his 7th birthday, and basically Florida had just started allowing open homosexual adoptions, and I was going through the process alone at first, and I was just going to adopt him to get him out of the foster care system because he had a really traumatic experience, and he didn't want to be alone. And he didn't want the fear of children and families coming and taking him. You thought about what you want to do when you grow up?
U.S. Navy SEAL.
Oh, so you changed it now. It's a Navy SEAL. What do Navy SEALs do?
Skydive and swim.
Oh, okay. So you educated on that part then, huh? Who taught you that?
Lorie.
So now you want to do dangerous stuff, so I'm going to sit here worried about you all the time. So we decided to just go through the process of adopting him, and it would just be one of us adopting him. We went through the process, and they still, because my partner, they still had to do all the background checks and everything else on him, which is like hard. That was one of the most invasive processes I've ever been through. They analyzed every little detail of your life, and because I'm a drag queen, they wanted to know every club I've ever worked at. They combed through my finances with the fine-tooth comb. The judge even asked like personal questions about my partner and I, like if we ever had violence in the home or anything. And my partner and I get along very well. We've actually only had like 2 arguments the entire time we've been together for 5 years. So
Yeah.
that it works out, but it was just like hard trying to make people believe that you were happy in your own home because they were looking for a reason not to go through with it, or it felt like that at first. And so when I went to the adoption, we went through the whole process, and I was just getting ready to go through the adoption myself, and they were like, well, we have wonderful news for you. Both of you can adopt. And can you be at the courthouse on Friday? And that was like Wednesday afternoon. They're like, if you can sign these papers and get it notarized and be at the courthouse, you both can go through the adoption. You won't have to see us ever again. You won't have to worry about us anymore. We won't have to do these visits every 4 months. Like, it's done. So I'm like, oh yes, finally. So we dropped everything we were doing. And it was his 7th birthday. We canceled everything and we went to the courthouse. The judge, she was amazing. Like, I was scared, I was nervous, and I was dressed up, and she was like, so, and I go by Dr. Clarke, which is, I have a PhD in food science, and she was like, Dr. Clarke, so what is it that you do for a living? And I'm like, well, I own a restaurant consulting firm. And she's like, and I'm like, I'm a drag queen. And she was like, okay, so when do you work? And I'm like, I'm telling her when I worked at the club. And she was like, oh, I think I've seen you before. Instead of being like, and I'm like, oh, so you actually come? And she's like, yes, my family loves the shows and we come out and we support. We come and watch the Pride show every year. And she was like, do you ever do Fantasia and Barrino? I'm like, yes, I do. And she was like, okay, then we saw you perform. We loved you. And I'm like, that's amazing just to see that the actual adoption judge was a fan. And that relaxed my nerves right then. And the adoption was a simple process. It was just them asking us questions and if we wanted that child to care for them and if we understood that he would be ours forever. And we were sworn in, we took pictures and stuff, and like it was amazing. So we're trying to go through the process of adopting 2 more, and then after we finish those 2, we'll go through the process of adopting the last one. But the kids know that I'm a drag queen. They love me entertaining. I know for like a good year I stopped entertaining just to focus on taking care of the children, and they saw a difference in me and they asked me to start performing again.